Good morning, my friends all over the world. It is a rainy day here in my part of the world. It is Thursday. It is raining in New Jersey. I am about to head out for a walk with my dog despite the rain. And so I thought it would be a good time to stop now before I head out and get all wet, to bring us a word from the Lord this day. And so today, because of the rain, I am inspired to read from the prophet Isaiah. So I'm going to be reading from Isaiah 45, verses 5 through 8, and they have this for us today. I am the Lord, and there is no other. Apart from me there is no God. I will strengthen you, though you have not acknowledged me. So that from the rising of the sun to the place of its setting, people may know that there is none beside me. I am the Lord, and there is no other. I form the light and create the darkness. I bring prosperity and create disaster. I, the Lord, do all these things. You heavens above, rain down righteousness. Let the clouds shower it down. Let the earth open wide. Let salvation spring up. Let righteousness grow with it. I, the Lord, have created it. I love these verses. I love this reminder that the Lord is in charge. In a week where we have experienced a solar eclipse on Monday, where in my part of the world we have been experiencing, we had an earthquake, and now we've been experiencing some of the tremors. Also with this knowledge that it is God who is in charge of all of these things. We are reminded that just as the rain showers down from heaven to grow the beauty of springtime, there are bushes. As I look out my windows here in my office, I see the leaves starting to come out on the bushes because it is springtime once again. We can expect the rain in this season, this springtime. It is common for us to get a lot of rain in my part of the world. And it is God's will to do this, to create the seasons, to give order, even to things like solar eclipses, right? The planets, the sun, the moon, the stars, they're all in their courses. And so every so often we see this amazing event where the moon covers the light of the sun. And even that is a reminder to us of the great wisdom and power and providence of a God who, just as God sends the rain in springtime, also desires that righteousness might rain down in our world, and that the earth would open wide to receive its salvation. What an image this is. And we need to remind ourselves also that God's righteousness is expressed and God's abiding sacrificial love. The ultimate righteousness is in recognizing the divine nature, the divine qualities, the image of God that exists in each and every human being, and that all are worthy of good things. And that God's righteousness is God's desire that all of humanity might experience this goodness and this provision that God desires for us, that God rains down God's righteousness so that all would receive salvation, not as something that's imposed upon them by a system or imposed upon them by the church or imposed upon them unwillingly, but that we would all come to understand that God's righteousness is about loving one another and opening ourselves up to see and hear and try to understand one another out of love. That is what God desires for us. Not warring, not fighting, not division, not name-calling, not political affiliations that divide us even as Christians, but to see and hear one another's stories, to recognize one another's struggles, to lift up one another out of fear and out of whatever kind of oppression we may be suffering from in our lives, because there are a lot of people who are just really struggling to get through each day for a tremendous variety of reasons. And so part of our human desire to please our God in recognizing that God has created all these things, the light and the dark, the showers, the seasons, and each and every human being, means that if we love God, then we are called to love others, and to see them and to hear them and to try to understand, even when that is difficult, to recognize that we are all striving for the same good things in our lives, and we all deserve these same good things, to live in peace, to live in a place that allows our children to grow in safety and in wisdom, to just live out our days in ways that are life-giving. Each and every human being deserves that gift, because that, my friends, is the gift of God Almighty. And that is what God means when God talks about raining down God's righteousness for all of creation, for all of the world to receive its salvation, that we might not continue to suffer. And so whatever you might be struggling with this day, whatever is your current oppression, be it of mind or body or spirit, know that the Lord sees you, that God sees you, that God desires for you to have good things, and that it is our role as God's people to join with God in making these things possible by simply seeing one another. We cannot fix all of the great problems that exist in our world. Surely they are beyond our individual control. But we do have the power to live into God's righteousness and God's salvation by simply seeing one another, by simply recognizing one another's deep struggles, and by simply embracing one another in the ways that God desires for us to live together. And when we do these things, my friends, we also create a world of greater peace. And I believe that that is what God desires for us all. So thank you for being here with me. I appreciate your comments, what you heard in this time of devotion, in these scriptures, and how they might impact and influence your own walk with the Lord and your own daily life. And so if you would be so kind as to leave me a comment down below so I can get a better sense of the kinds of things you may be struggling with this day. I am grateful for you, and I pray for you that you will have a blessed day, and that you might feel the love of God coming down like rain upon you, covering you in the joy of knowing God and God's salvation. Peace to you. I'll see you Sunday. Bye-bye.